Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about reggae. So this is a unit that I have just created. It's going to actually be linked down below for you guys. I'm going to outline this entire unit for you to see if maybe it's something that you would like to incorporate in your classroom. So let's get into it. I got 4 lessons to share with you. So the very first lesson is actually a freebie. I have it linked down below. You need to be a part of my email list, and it is in the freebie library. So if you are already on my email list, if you can go over to my website, look at the top, and there is a little tab that says freebies. Click on that. That will go to the library, and then the password is at the end of every single email I send you. And open any email by me, and at the end you'll see that password. If you're not already part of my email crew, then all you have to do is sign up and I will directly send you this lesson. So let's talk about the very first lesson. There's 3 components to it. So this is going to be about Bob Marley and about introing reggae music. So you're first going to start by doing something what I like to call a wonder walk. And so I have a bunch of different pictures about reggae music, about Bob Marley, to kind of get the students starting to, get an idea for what we're talking about. And so I tell them that I don't actually tell them that we're doing reggae. I just post around the room, the different pictures that represent reggae and connections with reggae. And I say, okay guys, I'm gonna play some music, and I have a playlist of reggae music that's school appropriate for you guys that you can use. And I just have them walk around. I say, okay, when a picture resonates with you, like talk to a neighbor, talk to a friend, like what you wonder about that picture or what you already know. And so it gets some really good conversation starting to go. I give them about 5 minutes to do that. And then we come and sit down and we go through the pictures and we talk about like, oh, I had a lot of pictures about Jamaica, because this music comes from this country. I had, some pictures of Bob Marley and his family and like, who is this? Do they know? I have a picture of Koffee, who is a very recent popular reggae artist that we'll talk about a little bit here. I have a whole lesson on her. I have all kinds of things, different instruments that are used in reggae. I talk about, also the time period. I have some pictures to represent kind of the 1960s, 70s. And so it just leads to a good intro. I also have an intro presentation that I include in the reggae unit that you could also use. But with this freebie, just going through the Wonder Walk and through those pictures really gives students a really good intro into reggae music. Okay, then after that, we read One Love by Bob Marley's daughter. And at the end, really like the book is nice and stuff, but it is a little bit young for probably, I'm thinking this unit is for 4th, 5th, 6th. But it's still nice to read it. And then at the end, what I really want them to do is read the letter that Cedella writes about her father and about how she uses one love in her own life with her family and what her father, wanted the world, the meaning behind this song. And so I think it's really important. It gives them a really good connection to Bob Marley's One Love. After that, I have created a boomwhacker play along that goes along with One Love, and it's of course in C major. It's just C, F, and G. And so I have the students play a steady beat. They learn about the chord structure and they play along. And if you have, I just happen to have C, F, and G bass bars, and I added in those to the play along, and it really made it have a much deeper sound, and like it was really awesome. So boomwhackers / if you want to use xylophones, really you could use whatever you'd like, but I have the colors of the boomwhackers to help you guys out with that. So that's the very first lesson, and let's dive into the second lesson. So the second lesson I go into about Johnny Nash. So Johnny Nash, it's a big deal because he is not Jamaican, he's American, he's from Texas. And so a really big point to talk about with him is that, he's one of the very first artists to go and record in Kingston, Jamaica, and really kind of cross over from a different area, doing this type of music. And he started out as a pop artist, he was an actor, and he wasn't really he found some success, but he wasn't super successful yet. He went over to Jamaica to record an album, and he met Bob Marley. And so this is before Bob Marley was really popular, which I think is so cool to have that lesson about Bob Marley in the beginning, and then talk about his beginnings and how Johnny Nash met him. And Johnny Nash later on went to have his own record label and was the first person to sign to sign Bob. So it's really interesting to make that connection. We talk about that while he was there, he was influenced and inspiration, and he created I Can See Clearly Now, which is still his signature hit song. And so, yeah, really cool background to talk about Johnny Nash. Then we do a movement activity / body percussion to his song I Can See Clearly Now. And it's a good mix of movement and body percussion. And the students really enjoyed it. I think it's a little bit of a stretch for some of the older kids that may be just a little bit too cool, but I think secretly they liked it. And it's really fun. They have a really great time with it, gets them up and moving. And then after that, I think it's so cool to make the connection, especially right now if the Winter Olympics are going on right now, and even if it's not at the time that you're watching this video, that the Olympics are happening, I think it's still cool to make the connection that I Can See Clearly Now was also covered by Jimmy Cliff, who is another reggae artist, and then his version of I Can See Clearly Now is in Cool Runnings, and talking about that Cool Runnings is about a Jamaican bobsledding team, that it was a really big deal, that they made an Olympic level bobsledding team that went to the Winter Olympics. And then I even found a video that has like a montage of the video, a few scenes from it with I Can See Clearly Now over top of it. And I think that's a great way to just kind of wrap up the lesson and kind of cool down from moving. So lesson 3, I thought was so much fun because my students really resonated with it, because we're talking about an artist who is so current right now. So her name is Koffee, Koffee. Her first name is actually Michaela, and she's a little bit of a crossover between hip hop and reggae, and she has just become popular here in the last few years. I think 2018, 2019 is when she really started to see some success, and it's grown from that. She won the Best Reggae Album, a Grammy for Best Reggae Album in 2020, and so she really has taken off just here in the last few years. So I first talk about her. I found a video by Honda of all people on Honda's YouTube channel, but they did a little spotlight on her, and it's about 3 to 4 minutes, and it really gives a great background about her, that she's from Jamaica, that she grew in a Christian household. Her mom really instilled in her to live up to her potential. She talks about how she first started thinking about reggae music and writing lyrics, and I just think it's really cool because the kids can resonate with that when she's in this video, she's talking about her high school years and how she started to get interested in becoming a musician, and I just think it really resonates with them. So then after that, I will have the students play steady beat tag. So this is very much like meter tag, but essentially you're having to move to the steady beat. So the students will listen to Toast. I say, okay, the first step is that you need to listen to this song called Toast. And I actually showed them before this, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, the NPR Tiny Desk concert series. She performed there, and so they're listening to the song called Toast. And it's not like toast like bread toast, it's like toast like as in a cheers. And the song is really about having gratitude and being thankful for the success of her music career. And so it has a really good message behind it, and pretty much just celebrating that she's had success and how grateful she is for it. So after that, then steady beat tag. So I play the music and I say, okay, you guys got to find the steady beat. And it's a pretty walkable steady beat. It's just kind of like a nice walk around. So the students get that. Then I say, okay, everybody close your eyes. And I am going to tap 2 people that are going to be it. And this is just like tag. If you get tagged, you can sit down right where you're at, you're out. But you have to walk to the steady beat. If you don't, and I usually will give 1 reminder, and if students still not walking to the steady beat, I'll ask them to be out. And so I will have them all close their eyes. I tap 2 people on the shoulder who are it, and the other kids don't know, because then I have them all open their eyes and I say, okay, I tagged 2 people that are it. And if you start to figure out who is it, maybe you can warn the other your classmates, but let's see how it goes. And I press play and they all have to walk to the steady beat. There's a lot of screaming and excitement at the very beginning on when they start to figure out who is the taggers. And then usually I play for a minute or 2, and the last few people that are still in at the end are the winners. And so really I'm playing the steady beat tag with Toast to really get it in their brain, so they're listening to the song, they're feeling the steady beat, because we're going to learn a groove to the song. So I took some phrases and kind of reworked them into creating a 3-part groove. And so it's for drum, maraca, and claves. And so I first then, after we play steady beat tag, I have them sit down and I teach them first the drum part. And it's toast to you, toast to you. Okay, so it's an 8-beat groove, and so they have toast to you, rest, rest, toast to you, rest, rest, toast to you. And so I first have them say that, then I have them play it, and I play it or do potty percussion to it, and they pat it on their legs because they are going to play it on drums. If you don't have standing drums, you could also do hand drums, toast to you. So then I have them come up, they rotate through my tabanas and congas, they play toast to you, rest, rest, toast to you. Then while they're doing that, I start adding in the maraca part, and it's coffee, coffee, please, coffee, coffee, please, coffee, coffee, please. And I actually use egg shakers. You could use maracas, coffee, coffee, please. I use egg shakers because I want to get this kind of loose body percussion or professional percussion kind of feeling going on. So I do with an egg shaker in my hand, I go coffee, coffee, please, toast to you, coffee, coffee, please, toast to you, coffee, coffee, please. So they start to get that in their brain. Then I have them come back and they all get an egg shaker and they practice that part. And then we put those 2 parts together. Then the next lesson, and you could do all 3 parts. It depends on your kids. I do the first 2, drum and maraca, and then after that, I will add in the clave part, and it's thanks for the journey, thanks for the journey, thanks for the journey. And so then I have the students learn that part the next lesson, and then we try and put the entire thing together. And I don't actually have them play along with the music. I think it's just cool that we can like kind of take inspiration from a song and create a groove. And finally, lesson 4/5 is we're going to bring it back to Bob Marley. We're going to be talking more about his background. So with the Wonder Walk and his family, we kind of start to talk about Bob Marley, but I don't give them hard cold facts quite yet. And so because I want to end with him, and so this is where we're really going to dive in to Bob Marley. We're going to talk about his background, and then we're going to showcase 3 Little Birds this time around. So I'm going to have them listen to the song, and then we're going to start talking about Bob Marley and reggae artists. A lot of times songs are for change, and songs are about, are inspired by things that are really important to the artist and, inspiring change for people. And so then we write our own verse to 3 Little Birds, and it needs to be about something that you think, a topic that's important or needs to change. And so I take them through the writing process that they're going to create this. They have to pick a topic. Like I think in my example, I pick an ocean. Then the next part of that phrase, so it needs to be 4 lines. It's the topic first, so like the ocean. And then there needs to be like a statement. The ocean is pretty cool, right? And then you go down. The second line needs to be something that you want to change about it or find it really important. The third line is the topic, and then what you find important about it. And the first and third line should be the same. So they will be the same. And then again, that 4th line is something that you want to change or something that's important. And the 2nd and 4th line need to have rhyming words at the end. And so I walk them through that process, and they create it and they can write it. I have little paper, little cutouts that have little birds. They can pick their own little bird and they write it down. And I thought it would make a great bulletin board. You could post them out. Display for students to see, what kind of verse they came up with. And even too, if you wanted to take it to the next level, then the students can sing over top of a karaoke track. They could sing their verse and see if they can time it with the music. And that is the reggae unit in a nutshell. It's definitely something you could extend to be, a single lesson on just one artist and, spread that out throughout the year. It can be an entire unit, 4 to 5, 6 lessons, depending on how much time you want to take with them. And there are a few extra things. I have a lesson just on reggae instruments and examples. Like I said, I have an intro presentation that also you can use. And I also have a booklet where the students can write down the facts, whether that's printable or a digital activity. So there's a lot of options with this unit, and you can really, make it your own. I hope that is helpful for you guys, deciding if this is something maybe you would like to bring into your classroom, or maybe spark your own inspiration to create some of your own lessons on reggae. I enjoyed this unit so much, especially because I feel like reggae music is not something that you see a lot of resources about, and I think it's just untapped, like amazing music that we need to bring in with our classroom. And they really, a lot of them recognized the music and had a lot of fun with it. So the freebie first lesson is linked down below, and the rest of the unit if you are interested in checking it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.